All right, this is the Hipfire pod. What? This is the Hipfire Gaming Show podcast. What are we?
Podcast? I don't know.
Welcome to Hipfire Gaming. This is Joe,
I'm JD.
and we're two dudes that talk about games. We hate each other.
It,
That's about it.
absolutely, to our cores, we hate each other.
Yeah, it'll become very evident in the show.
Yep.
So let's just take off. I think some topics I've got here. The YouTube flags, I think, might even be something we want to touch on later. In all honesty, I think there's a lot out there. And there's people that have hit on it a little bit better than we're probably going to.
Like everything else, since the topics you come up with are complete garbage. So
Yeah, they're shit, but they're out there, so
true.
fuck you. But the YouTube flags, I think it's interesting that I was telling you, I watched a video. I can't, the name of the channel's escaping me. I'll have to get the link and try and put it in the comments. But the video pretty much explained what was going on was actually that game companies had themselves set restrictions on their property in one way or another, or somebody in PR, somebody in legal had said, if you have 10% of this song in your video, it's going to flag it. And it's kind of funny. I haven't seen any real evidence to say that any of the publishers that say, yeah, we're cool with this, were ones that also kind of dick themselves. But I just think it's interesting to see how this whole thing's kind of shaping up. Obviously, it doesn't affect us because we're not showing any gameplay. We're just two assholes talking about games in the industry and kind of what we like to talk about anyway. But it affects a lot of people, and I don't like to see people that I like to follow, like Angry Joe, for instance, is getting slammed with it. So he's got a very passionate video. But there's some fantastic resources out there for those that really want to get more info on the situation. So I think, honestly, unless you have more to say about it, I think we could probably move on because, again, it doesn't really affect us too much, and I'm not the most educated on the issue as it is.
No, and if anything, too, we'll just add some links down below the podcast or the vlog or whatever the hell you want to call it, YouTube video down below.
Shit show's going to be.
It's going to be so bad. But yeah, we'll make sure to add some links in there for you guys if you are interested and want to check them out. We'll go ahead and do that. So be on the lookout for those after the video.
SteamOS, this is another one I actually almost just crossed out entirely. They released an FAQ on it. There's a lot going out there. I'm excited for the OS personally to be able to stream a game from my main rig in my bedroom, living room without having to run the 25-foot HDMI cables that I currently run. It's pretty cool. I didn't install it yet. I'm not very good with Linux, so I don't want to necessarily jump on it yet because I believe it's still in beta. I don't know if you've been jumping on any of that.
No, I did the big screen or whatever the hell they called on Steam, and that was pretty cool. And obviously it was something when I was using with my TV. I had my 50-inch up for a while. I didn't have my computer set up, but it was nice because I could set up my computer to my TV and then use the big screen setting that they have, which was really sweet and definitely something that I'm going to check out with Steam. But again, like you, I'm not super familiar with Linux, so I'll get to that point. But obviously the ideas that are there are pretty sweet, and their ability to really, obviously, Gabe's all over the idea that he wants to make sure that this is an all-immersive kind of style and that, Microsoft and PlayStation aren't really doing it, and that whole idea of his elitist attitude towards Valve. There's our mascot, Brody.
He's a dick. He's even worse than JD.
Yeah. So no, I think it'll be cool. I'm going to check it out. Hopefully, obviously with it being in beta and me checking out that FAQ, it'll be a while before I probably get really, really deep into it. And obviously Joe muting his mic looks absolutely crazy talking to himself.
Not myself. I'm screaming at my dog.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to chat about too, along with Steam too, is it looks like, I don't know if you saw this, Joe, but they did the unboxing of their new gaming system, which was pretty cool. There's a couple of short videos out there. It doesn't look like there's a lot so far as people playing the game or doing anything with it, but it was the unboxing. It's pretty sweet. Came in a big wood box. Which I thought was a little intense, but still kind of cool and kind of upheld that whole idea of Valve and Steam and things like that. But it was a lot bigger of a system than I thought. I don't know if you saw their little cube that they were originally talking about.
The piston.
Is that what it was called?
The X3i, I believe, piston. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one was, obviously there's a big size difference because the Steam box that they came out with is a lot bigger than that. And the guy was saying that I watched that it was pretty heavy. So it's obviously a lot more serious, and it basically just looks like a really slimlined computer. The back end of it looks like a motherboard's back end with multiple USBs and headphone jack and Ethernet jack and things like that. So I don't think they've really broke any ground with it, but I think the operating system should be able to change it. He's just gnawing on your hand, isn't he?
Oh, he's destroying it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And then he'll stop, look at it, and growl. This might morph from a gaming podcast to just focusing on my dog. Probably do better on the internet.
Probably.
Because hold on. That's right. There he is. This is Brody. He's all right. Hey, asshole. But yeah, no, I saw the unboxing. It was actually super interesting, and I was absolutely astonished. I'm kind of a tech head, but not to the point where I lose my shit over teraflops and things like that. But I thought it was super interesting when it was announced how the airflow was going to work for individual components, and then seeing it, how like I believe the one I saw was a GTX 780, or it might have been a Titan. I'm not really positive. But it was sexy. I mean, the space management they've done in the box that they've sent out, as well as the airflow, I think is really, really important. I think anybody that's built the system probably knows if you build something that's pretty decent, you got to manage heat, and it seems like it does it pretty well. I'll be interested to see what else comes out, because I think they're probably under pretty strict NDAs if they were putting up unboxings. I think if somebody were to put up any gameplay almost at all, they'd probably get a call or have Gabe show up at their door and
Absolutely.
be taking that box back. So it'll be interesting to see how that trickles out in the next couple of weeks. I think it's awesome. I think any kind of competition, especially since I don't want to say Nintendo's not really up there, because Jason Rubin took enough heat for saying they're irrelevant, but Sony and Microsoft being the two big dogs with two brand new consoles, it'd be cool to see Valve come out and have something that's a little bit more hot swappable, upgradable. Obviously, a lot of interchangeability and more longevity. You know, I think I saw a quote somewhere about PS4 and Xbox wanting to be 10-year systems, and I don't think it's going to happen. I love my PS4, but I don't think it's a 10-year system.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 6-year system maybe. I hope it's longer. Of course, I spent $400 on the thing. I would love for it to last 10 years, but I just don't see it. Moving right along, there was a dude that bought a $735 photo of an Xbox One. That was actually news a couple weeks ago, so that's not really new, but a lot of folks may not know that he was actually given a console. So he got his money back, first of all, from PayPal, because they have fail-safes, so you don't have to feel like buying things online is that risky. It's still certainly risky. According to the stories I was reading, the seller had something like a 99.5 rating, positive.
It's mind-boggling. I don't know how you can have that and then pull that with somebody. I guess it's working to your advantage, though.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably, yeah. And the guy even said, you know, he didn't think anything of it because he read the tagline. He sounded like a fairly intelligent guy. Like, he read it and it said photo, but he was like, there's no damn way that this is actually just a photo.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think he tried to use, you know, a little bit of common sense, maybe not enough. I don't want to call the guy an idiot, because as soon as I do, it'll probably happen to me. So,
probably. Hopefully.
Yeah, next week, we'll see. I did buy some McDonald's today trying to win an Xbox One, and I got Missplosion Man. I'm not mad about it, though.
No, I wouldn't be mad. I don't even know the one. I got one the other day too. I don't even know what it was called, but you feed this big monster and then he eats people, or I don't know. I was like,
is it the Maw?
Yeah, it's the Maw. And,
nice.
And I was incredibly ashamed that I was even at McDonald's, but I was like, I might as well win something, and I won that game, so I wasn't super butthurt about it. But
yeah. And we could talk about that contest. That's actually pretty new. It's win an Xbox One. I actually saw some rules that showed the Xbox One was something like 10,000 to 1 chances, but an Xbox Live Music Pass was something like 14,000 to 1.
Great logic, guys. Great
logic. So it's harder to win a subscription music service, which from all reports I'm seeing is pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
Than the actual console, which, hell, if I win an Xbox One, I'll take it now. Otherwise, I probably won't buy one until the new year.
Yeah, exactly. Which isn't actually that long, because that's next month.
Well, yeah, but I'm not exactly... She's not home right now, but the fiance has already illustrated very clearly that I will not be purchasing one before March.
Not a surprise at all there.
Yeah, I'm already getting used to married life when she says you can't have it. Yeah. Good Old Games had that 48 hours of free Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics. Did you pick it up?
I did not, and I'm kicking myself for that. I know, I'm kicking myself for that. It was definitely something I wanted to get. The last couple of days have been absolutely insane, and I went on to Good Old Games and saw that they've changed it up a little bit. So I think it's I think the last time I saw it was Wing Commander 5, and I actually started watching some videos of the old Wing Commander games and some Let's Plays of the old Wing Commander games from like a long time ago, and people playing like number 4, which has like Mark Hamill in it,
Oh yeah.
And obviously people are super excited. They're like, "Oh my God, he's in Star Wars. Luke Skywalker's in Wing Commander." And I grew up playing Wing Commander. I absolutely love that game. Played it with my dad all the time, so it's definitely something that brought me back. But yeah, I was bummed I didn't pick up Fallout 4. I'm a little bummed out about that. So
Yeah, I mean it's it's kind of nostalgia. I mean, that's really what it was. When they said it was free, of course, I tried to jump on. I think the first couple hours were plagued with the site going down, but I picked them up. I can always remember Fallout 1, 2, and specifically Tactics. Fallout 2 was the one I probably played the most, but I remember being the most excited for Tactics. And I think I'm right along with everybody else that played Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Loved those. Have a buddy that only played Fallout 3 and didn't play 1, 2, or Tactics, and picked them up. And I told him before he launched it, like, they're different games, man. They're made by different developers. They are fundamentally pretty different. They're similar but different. But I'm glad they were free. Hell, I'll play those till 4 comes out. I might pop in New Vegas and Fallout 3 just for a little bit of fun.
that's cool.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
I'm a little bummed out that I didn't get to check it out, but it sounds like a good time for sure.
Well, it sucks to suck. This is actually a cool story. I want to touch on it quickly because we're kind of already behind schedule. Knew it would happen. But 5 out of the top 10 Steam games right now are greenlight or early access, which to me signals that kind of one, there's a new business model out there. You pay us money, you can get in on the beta, which is cool. Because I've seen things like DayZ was one that really interests me. I'll probably end up picking that up at some point
Yeah.
before it goes live retail.
Yeah.
But they also did a good job of mentioning 3, 4, 5 times, even before you purchase the game, when you launch the game, when you do pretty much anything before actually jumping in the game, of expressing that, hey, this is an early access game. You're pretty much buying a beta, maybe even like alpha stage game. And there's going to be bugs. Expect bugs. Expect it to be weird. I saw a couple of Let's Plays up, and there are people kind of bitching about the games, which I just think is completely unfair. Yeah, you can bitch about it, but try and be constructive. Send some stuff to the dev. I mean, they're trying their best to get their product out there, and that thing started out as a mod. So I think it's a cool idea. It'll be interesting to see how Greenlight and early access and all that stuff goes in the next, like, even 6 months. It's crazy to think that I think Greenlight's only not even a year old, is it?
I don't think so, because I know the first time I heard of Greenlight was when I checked out Broforce for the first time, which I absolutely
Yes.
loved that game, and really glad that they did that, because I was able to play Broforce for free. But now, it's really interested me in the final cut of the game. Obviously, as time went on, they added more characters and some more levels for the early access. But I'm definitely very, very excited for when that game comes out, because of the free early access that they gave for Broforce. And they're like, hey, check out our game, see if you like it. So, obviously how young Greenlight is, but all the great things they're doing, and they're also doing software too. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a lot of aspects to Greenlight that they're not just doing games, and I saw that the other night. I was kind of messing around with Greenlight. A really cool thing is they're doing software as well for music creation's a really, really big one, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I found a couple different ones, like some system testing and things like that I was checking out, and definitely something that it's exciting to see. And I think Greenlight's kind of a cool idea, and that whole early access idea is kind of nice for them to get the games out to be tested, or the software out to be tested, without having to hire a bunch of beta testers. You have these free beta testers out there, like, hey, play our game. We'll give it to you for free if you just play it and tell us how you think. So I think that's definitely something that's really, really cool, and Greenlight's an awesome situation to have. So
Yeah, and more often than not, those people are already excited about the title, or at least something got them interested. So you know that they already have a little bit invested in it, and then obviously they have liquid assets now invested in it too. So it's something where if I buy into DayZ, I'm probably more apt to send the developer an email, or if they have, their live bug fix site or something like that, I'm more apt to submit, hey, here's my experience so far, or even make a quick let's play and throw it up and say, here's what I'm seeing.
yeah,
And the dev, from what I understand, is extreme, and multiple developers, since they obviously are doing this out of passion in most cases. Some are doing it for the money, and they're doing it for the wrong reason, if that's the case, but most are doing it for passion. So they're going to check out those ones that have 10, 20,000 views, 100,000 views, of course. They're going to see what people are saying about their game and hopefully take heed.
yeah. Well, and if not, I mean, it's obviously up to them, but they put it out there to get tested, and they want to kind of see what people are thinking, and whatever they take from it's what they take from it. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops from here.
For sure. I mean, I'm excited. I was never a big indie person until really the explosion started to happen. Now it's one of those things where it's like, man, it's hard not to be. I mean, I think there's core gamers out there that are probably saying they aren't indie players, and they are without realizing it.
Absolutely.
Elder Scrolls Online we can touch on again real quick, but it's coming. It finally got a date, is why it's news. Coming out in April for PC, Mac, next gen consoles sometime in June. What I think is interesting is the first couple articles that came out after the subscription model was announced is it's $15, and I think the top article I was reading said, "Did the Elder Scrolls Online just commit suicide?"
That's huge. That's huge. To
You're,
have you buy the game and then pay a huge subscription of what are we at, $15 a month?
yeah,
That's
you're
huge.
you're you're taking $60 out of my pocket, plus you're asking another $15. A lot of what I was reading is, and I'm not a big MMO person, so I'm probably not the best
Definitely not either.
authority. But if shit, if you're gonna ask me for $75 out of the gate just to play your product, I would imagine they'll do a 30-day free or something like that.
Yeah.
If they're smart about it, they'll do 60 to 90 days free. But at the same time, I'm not very apt to buy in, even if I get 2 weeks free. I
No
don't know
way.
if I'm spending $60, I might give it a couple months to see how I like it. But I also don't have a ton of time, and I know you don't either.
No.
I can't put in 100 hours on a routine basis. The fact that I did it with Skyrim was a feat, and it was only because it sucked me in, and I was able to get in an hour here, an hour there.
Exactly. It was piece by piece, but obviously if you had the monthly subscription and you're only paying or playing, like maybe a couple hours every week, it's not going to be worth it. For some people,
Yeah,
obviously, there's going to be some people out there that they're really, really hardcore fans of Elder Scrolls, and the idea of Elder Scrolls Online that are going to get hooked on it. That $15 a month means nothing to them. If you're
yeah,
paying 40, 50 hours a month, even more, I mean, that's nothing at that point, obviously. So it is a little bit more difficult, and something that I was very, very surprised to see that they're at $15 a month on top of the 60. Obviously, you have some other games out there that did that, and they haven't really done as well because of that. People have a hard time paying that huge upfront cost and then continuing to play their game for a monthly cost. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It could have been it could be suicide. It's hard to say, and it could be something where they're like, crap, we really screwed up on that, or hey, yeah, we're gonna stick to our guns, and we think it'll be worth it in the end. So we'll see.
yeah. It concerns me. I mean, I love the Elder Scrolls as much as the next person. I am not the type of person to go through and read all the books on the shelves, but it'll be very interesting with World of Warcraft struggling the way it is, hemorrhaging subscribers, and with Blizzard saying the game was not built around a free to play model, therefore it will not go to one, and it would be too much work. They've commented on it multiple times. It's just a little scary,
Yeah.
but I think if anybody can do it, it's probably Bethesda. But at the same time, I would hate for them to invest what I have to imagine is hundreds of millions of dollars in this game and have it go belly up.
Yeah.
But this actually got me kind of pumped. Cliffy B said that the next game he's going to make will be something like a PC only arena shooter, which I think a lot of people snap directly to Unreal Tournament,
Oh yeah.
which was a blast.
Oh yeah. It's
God, I
Unreal.
grew
I
up
mean,
with that game.
obviously using the word Unreal to explain Unreal Tournament is
It's fair.
stupid. It's stupid, but it's fair. I mean, obviously, it's hard to ever think of an online
On a ride.
online an arena shooting game without thinking of Unreal Tournament and the idea of the fast pace, like railgun and things like that. It's huge. I mean, that's a definitely a big deal. So the fact that Cliffy B is talking about that is big. Obviously, with Gears of War being as big as it was, and the ability they had with that, who knows what it could be. But I mean, that definitely has me excited for sure, and it was something that I really was happy to see.
Yeah, definitely. I was listening to an interview. It was very, very good with Kevin Pereira. He has a podcast. What's it called? Pointless Podcast, which I think, if that name wasn't taken, could probably be ours. But he did a great job, an awesome interview. There's another one with Jeff Keighley after the VGX Awards. I know I was telling you about earlier today, but man, you got to listen to those two, Cliffy B's, Jeff Keighley. He did one more with Adam Sessler, which was pretty interesting, and it looks like this guy's pumping these out pretty quick. But they're solid content too. But Cliffy was saying, he's going to. It'll be very close to what his core is, which I think a lot of people just assume is going to be something like Unreal. And I think from what he was saying, he's not ready to comment on a lot of things, but certain aspects of it definitely echo Unreal Tournament. So be interesting. So let's get to our holiday stuff, because I think that's important. I think it'll be kind of fun to talk about. I don't know. We did this completely independent of each other, made a list of let's go real quick with what did we not get around to this year that we really, really wish we would have? Or what did you not spend enough time on that you wish, if you could sink every hour into, what would that be?
I think with that one is an easy one for me. I think that's GTA 5. I think, honest to Christ, and don't hang me up for this one, I think I'm at like 25% completed the game, maybe 30. And I have
Stop the podcast now.
probably all of my friends have finished this game. Any of them that are watching will definitely probably castrate me for that. But yeah, I think I'm about
Yeah.
30%. The multiplayer is phenomenal. I play a bunch of the multiplayer, and it's been hard to go back to the single player because whenever I get on multiplayer, I'm like, oh yeah, I have buddies on, let's go, play, top fun or whatever different game
Ah,
styles we're gonna play, and you get
good
sucked
choice.
in and you do it for hours and hours and hours. And my last thought is, oh, I'm gonna go play single player by myself. Although the game is phenomenal, it's just harder to get back into it now that Battlefield 4 is out. I'm kind of slipping further and further away from the time that I want to invest into it. So hopefully it's one of those things where if I slip into a deep depression, stop talking to everybody on the planet, I can start playing that game again and finish it. Kind of like I wanted to do with Alan Wake's expansion that they came out with after I only played it for about 20 minutes, even though I religiously played the first one. So hopefully I can pick it back up. But I think that would be my biggest one would be GTA 5. What about you?
That was honestly surprising, I have to say. But I think for me, what I didn't spend enough time on, and it's probably pretty sad. I'll probably be castrated for it. But Walking Dead, I didn't finish it. I have every episode of the first season, and I think that was 2012 even
Yeah.
that came out because that won multiple Game of the Years. But I still, in the back of my mind, it's one that I just put, a little bit. I didn't even beat the first episode.
Oh wow!
Um,
See, I at least did that. I
yeah.
don't have any of the other ones though, so I can definitely castrate you for not playing them. I won all the other
Meh.
ones, and that's something I'll get to with my wish list. But I won all the other ones. I beat the first chapter. I was like, wow, that's phenomenal. I just played other video games and didn't pick it back up, and it sounds like I definitely made a big mistake with how much Telltale is coming out with, and
Yeah, no
how many
shit.
Game of the Year awards they came out with, and working with the guys over with Borderlands, and obviously with Game of Thrones that they talked about at VGX. I mean, they were on there twice on VGX interviewing. The guy just sat down with two different developers. I was like, yeah, we're with them too. So obviously it's something I need to check out.
Yeah, clearly they're doing some things right. And I think for me right now is a good time because season two just came out, I think yesterday even. It might have been Tuesday. I'm not really positive. I'm sure somebody will probably tell us in the comments
Probably.
with some sarcastic tone. But yeah, I think it's a good time because I can go back through hopefully. And it seems like one of those games where I can get a little bit in, pause it, set it down, go to work, do anything else, come back and still remember it. And what shocked me about the game is the fact that Megan, my fiance, actually was willing to sit down and watch me play it and see some of the narrative play out. So that could be a cool experience, a cool way to play. And I've heard of other journalists on Giant Bomb. Patrick Klepek actually said that that's the way that he plays. His wife or girlfriend or fiance, I think wife, actually makes all the decisions. He just does the gameplay. So I thought that was a cool
Which
way
is
to
kind
play.
of that's a cool idea as far as like more of a kind of a co-op feel.
Yeah.
Obviously, some couples, guys are the gamers, girls are the gamers, and sometimes the opposite sex of them, their partner isn't quite there. So it's definitely something that's kind of cool because I had I've had that happen before too, where the girlfriend liked watching, but when it came down to actually playing it, it became more of an issue. So that's definitely a cool idea, and sounds like something that you guys could definitely do together.
Yeah. Real quick, the games I didn't get to. I don't own a PS3, so The Last of Us is number one on my list.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm really hoping
Gotta do
Gaikai
it.
takes off quicker, sooner than later, and I hope that's a launch title because I think that would get people so excited for Gaikai. Like right now, it's kind of this mythical unicorn, like it's off, over the horizon. Nobody knows it's coming in 2014. Hooray! But nobody knows anything beside that. I've heard of some outlets getting a chance to play it, and we're not impressed. But at the same time, there's no release date. I don't expect it to be anything beyond a beta, and maybe be running on like 5 servers. I'm hoping that would be something. I would pay full retail price if that was on Gaikai, or if they did something like Tomb Raider's doing, I would probably pay $60 to get a physical copy of that game. Another one that I sadly missed.
I think mine is definitely Tomb Raider as well. Tomb Raider is a big one, and then obviously the Telltale games is another really really big one. That's definitely something that I wanted to play and saw and really was excited about because I played it on the very first PS1 or PlayStation at the time, obviously, but was definitely something I was excited about after playing that and getting religiously into that and really really breaking that game down at a young age. So obviously when the new one came out and I saw how beautiful it looked, that was something that was very exciting for me. But hopefully at some point we can get there.
Yeah, for sure. Wish list. Honestly, my wish list is fairly short. I'm probably going to disappoint you a little bit, but my wish list is more of like things I want to see happen sooner than later. And actually, number one was Last of Us on Gaikai. Like this is more of my looking forward at the
Yeah,
year. Like this is what I need to see. Parappa the Rappa. Holy shit! What a good time to bring that back.
that's awesome.
And a Crash announcement would be really cool. But actually, if it was somebody was buying things for me for the holiday season, I was actually told I should do a gift guide for the Examiner, who I write for, and I'll probably throw a couple links in the bottom because I've got an article that I'm really proud of that just went up. Um, but
And you have
I
no
was
problem shamelessly promoting yourself. That's
no,
good.
I'll plug it.
Oh
I
yeah,
will be plugging on every fucking episode of this show. You better believe
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Um, but I started to kind of piece things together, and I realized if somebody were buying me a gift this season, people think it's a very shallow gift, I guess would probably be the best way to think of it, but gift cards. Just give me gift cards. It's the most thoughtful thing you can do for me. I honestly, my fiance, she, bless her heart, she wants to get me something really cool. We're trying to save for a wedding, so we're trying to keep it realistic. Like we're not going out and buying crazy watches or anything.
That's the
But
best you could come up with is crazy watches.
I don't
You
know.
have like all
Fucking,
these choices of like expensive things, and you come up with crazy watches.
I could say an Xbox One, but
There you go.
I,
Sure, something.
I
But
think,
the gaming channel, and you come up with crazy watches.
hey, Samsung's got a. I don't give a shit. All
Stop
right,
it.
listen,
Just keep going.
I can hang up in this too, just like in real life. Um, but that's actually a side story. I bought her a very, very nice watch, a Michael
Wow.
Kors watch, and she returned it and went and bought like a sweatshirt. It's like, oh, if I would have known that, I would have just fucking
She
bought you a
returned it
sweatshirt.
and bought something different. How
Yeah,
did you even do that?
no, she took it back, took my debit card back to the mall, and went from Michael Kors down to Victoria's Secret and bought like a Rocky sweatshirt and like six other things.
Cost about the same, I'm sure, since it's about
Yeah, it
Victoria's
was pretty
Secret.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think she went over. That bitch. Anyway, she's not home. It's okay. Next week's show, I'll have two new bruises.
probably.
Um, but yeah, gift cards. When she asked me, "What do you want for Christmas?" I honestly, and even my birthday, I'm like, I don't know. Every time the answer is I don't know, and I think sometimes guys in general can be very difficult to buy for. But trying to write this article, it was like, well, yeah, I would like to have Killzone for PS4 would be cool, but like it doesn't. It's not driving me to do anything crazy. There are some good deals. Like I told you the other day, I picked up a 24-inch monitor from Best Buy for $80. But that's something where I saw it. It was a deal for that day only. I just bought it. Like,
Which would be nice, obviously, in that case, having that gift card. It can be like more of a spur of the moment. Killzone could be kind of a feelings thing, kind of ebb and flow as far as, yeah, I'm feeling it now or I'm not then. So buying the game now may be a good idea, but later maybe it's not. So obviously,
exactly.
yeah, I definitely agree. I think gift cards are huge, and I definitely see where you're coming from on that one. That's for dang sure.
Yeah. And I mean, wish list, yeah, the Xbox One is on my wish list, but it's something like I've said, there's nothing driving me to it. I'm actually most interested in, I want to check out Killer Instinct. I remember the old one, but I was never a huge fighting game fan. I played Mortal Kombat out of necessity because it was one of the only games I had, but I loved it. I'm just not a huge fighting game person anymore. But Forza is the only thing that really has my eye for Xbox. And in all honesty, it'll be around. I bought Forza 4, excuse me, like a year after it came out, and I loved the hell out of it. I played it every day for a little while, and it was beautiful, and it was a great game, and they did an awesome job with it. But it was one of those things where GTA 5, I bought the special edition day one. Forza, I can wait a year on. Xbox One right now, I can wait on. I'll get one, but it's not even. I wouldn't even consider it on my wish list. It was like, if somebody gets me one, cool, thank you. I could have used $500 for something else, but thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wish list for me. Again, it's tough to say in the same way. Hey, what are you doing for Christmas? I don't know. I start thinking of things, and actually, there's a cool app that some people can check out. Obviously, it depends on nobody ever watching this. So, but obviously, a suggestion. There's a cool app, and I'll plug for them. It's called Giftster. It's pretty cool. You can add your own Christmas list, pricing, links, and stuff like that. And I'll put in a link in the description after this. That basically you can add your own Christmas list. But the cool thing is you can group up with like family members and things like that to show them what you want. I mean, they can also do the same thing for you. So that was one of the things. But I have a hard time. Mine's kind of clothes, underwear, socks, just things that I need on a daily basis that I hate buying and don't want to buy. Jugs of water that I have for my water cooler, which I'm really proud about that I have my own water cooler. I have conversations.
Nice.
I have conversations by myself in my garage with my water cooler, which is super fantastic. Pretty simple stuff. Obviously, it'd be really nice for this to get a new Logitech 920 webcam would be fantastic. A little higher quality video wouldn't be bad. Not that people want to see more of my face, but I wouldn't mind it at all. So I think that's pretty much it as far as my wish list goes.
Cool.
And obviously a PS4.
Yeah.
Which
you need that, and you need Battlefield 4. I tell you what, if you can get your hands on a PS4, I will get you Battlefield 4.
That's sweet of you, Joe. It sounds like we figured out our Christmas gifts for each other.
It's only so that I can get on the other team and knife the shit out of you.
It's fine.
From the side so you can't counter knife.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair, man.
I want you to see this face and these eyes.
That sounds good.
Cool. Well, we're coming up on, I think, about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes.
Perfect.
I think we might stay. I like the free forms. I mean, if we go 20 minutes, cool. If we go 40 minutes,
Absolutely.
whatever, we'll cut it down. Obviously, this is one of our first shows. We're still kind of finding our voice. I already feel a lot better about this show. I feel like we're being ourselves and feel like this is pretty cool. So hopefully we'll continue to do this every Wednesday. We will be recording. We will take suggestions. We will take comments, questions, honestly, anything. JD, you working on anything? You got anything to plug that you kind of want to talk about?
Not really right now. Just gonna keep my main focus on this. Really learning how to use the editing software and obviously the software we have for recording and stuff like that. This is a huge learning curve for me. So, and it's super exciting. It's something I'm definitely excited about. So if you guys have any suggestions or any ideas out there that can throw our way, or any ideas for our show, things you don't like, things you do like, we always want to hear from everybody. Always want to make this a better show since you're going to be the people watching it. We want to know what you want to see. So if you guys have any other ideas or anything you want us to talk about, definitely let us know. Check out the comments below and hit us up if you guys can.
Yeah, definitely. And I think let's throw this out there. Let's if anybody does listen to this and has a little bit of experience, we're looking for a logo. We don't have anything currently, and neither of us, I think, are very artistic. I've messed around with some stuff and it looks like dog shit. But yeah, Hipfire Gaming, anything you can come up with that's kind of relevant to that. I was thinking something with crosshairs, but I will throw it out to quite literally anybody that's willing to submit some ideas. I expect an inbox full of dicks, so if it happens, it happens. I mean, if we have to put it to a public vote.
Because you can see over here and over here, that stuff is probably not going to last very long, but it'd be great to have some background images and things like that. So if you guys have any ideas, free stuff that you want to throw out there and want us to maybe use, we definitely are open game at this point. This is also new for Joe and I, so we're definitely excited.
Yeah, for sure. The only things I'm really up to, I currently write for the Examiner for games. I used to put out about 3 articles a day. Now it's kind of scaling back. I'm trying to do a little bit more in the way of features. The article I mentioned earlier was just about the VGX Awards, which JD and I actually had a very lengthy conversation. We might get up sometime. It was like 2 hours on the VGX Awards.
Of just my face, because we screwed up.
Yeah, we fucked up bad. It was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I still can't stop laughing when I watch it now. But the article was actually centered around Jeff Keighley has been doing some interviews, and obviously it's coming up in one of those episodes of the Pointless Podcast with Kevin Pereira. He went right after him and asked him about Joel McHale and Loiter Squad and all the stuff and the
incredibly awkward transitions.
Just the awkwardness in general. It was awkward. So it was that was very interesting. Polygon did a great article. I kind of cite some of those guys and give a little bit of just a unique take on it. So I'll probably be linking that down there. Of course, read any other articles. If you have suggestions for articles or would like to throw something out there, I'm always game. If you guys want us to do some stuff, we're thinking about doing some game features. But right now we're just focusing on talking about the stuff we love, and if it works out to be inclusive of some other things, we'll take care of it. But JD, you got anything else?
That's it, man.
Cool, buddy. Well, this is Hipfire Gaming. I am Joe.
I'm JD.
And we will see you next time.
Fuck you, Joe.